Good evening and welcome to Global Lens on Apna Watan TV. I am Saadia Afzaal. Britain is at crossroads. Britain, the fifth largest economy in the world, potentially lining up for a bailout. Economists warn that the UK is on the brink of an economic breakdown and that one of the world's oldest democracies may soon be knocking on the door of the International Monetary Fund. Is this the return of the 1976 crisis or the beginning of something worse? These are not fringe opinions anymore. Professor Jagjit Chadda of Cambridge Economics Authority has warned, and I quote, "We will not be able to roll over debt, meet pensions payments, benefits will be hard to pay out." He says the economy is as perilous as the period leading up to the 1976 IMF loan. The UK now faces steep borrowing costs. 30-year gilt yields hovering near 5.62%, close to a 27-year high. Government debt service has exceeded £100 billion annually. Economists are growing increasingly concerned. Can this trajectory be halted? Let's rewind to 1976. The UK, battling inflation near 25%, plummeting pound and unmanageable deficits, was forced to request a £2.3 billion loan from IMF. Chancellor Denis Healey went cap in hand. 1976 inflation 16 to 25%, debt 49% of GDP. 2025 inflation 3 to 4%. But debt 94 to 96% of GDP. Deficits soaring and borrowing costs sky high. Though the economy is different now, the vulnerabilities are magnified. Today's debt levels are nearly double. Inflation is persistent and global investor confidence is fragile. The IMF is not staying silent. In July, it warned that the UK's fiscal recovery might falter without building more fiscal headroom and urged measures like welfare reform, tax tweaks, or NHS co-payments. These are not gentle nudges. They suggest sliding off the fiscal path, much like 1976. But the UK arguably still remains more stable. So, is this real or just a warning? The threats are real, but reactions differ. David Smith, economics editor at the Sunday Times, dismisses IMF bailout talk as overblown. He says that the bond market is still functioning, the pound isn't collapsing, and today's challenges are not 1976 on repeat. But the fiscal hole is glaring. Some sources point to a 40 to 50 billion pound shortfall ahead of the autumn budget. Borrowing costs have pushed the budget gap even wider. Now let's imagine a worst-case scenario. UK applies for an IMF loan package. What would that mean? Number one, mandated austerity. Deep cuts to public spending, painful welfare reforms. Number two, external oversight, similar to the political blow suffered in 1976. Number three, this could plunge the country into recession, erode trust, and inflict political damage much deeper than temporary economic pain. In 1976, the IMF loan stabilized the economy, but left a scar. Today, stakes are higher. Britain's global stature, public services, and pensions hang in the balance. With the autumn budget just around the corner, Chancellor Reeves needs options. Experts suggest three paths. Number one, tax increases or broader VAT to raise revenue. Number two, spending cuts or reform of pension triple lock. Number three, austerity approach, mix of modest tax hikes and tighter discipline and avoiding outright collapse. These choices are politically bruising, but the alternative may be far worse. Let's be clear, an IMF bailout isn't inevitable, but the red flags are flashing. If the UK fails to craft a serious fiscal plan, history may cast a long shadow over 2025. The coming weeks could determine whether Britain averts crisis or enters one of its most stark economic chapters. This is Saadia Afzaal for Apna Watan TV.
You are watching Apna Watan.